And Snack Time's a seven-piece like soul funk R&B pop fusion. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's it's super inspired by Prince, by Parliament Funkadelic, by D'Angelo. Also inspired by lots of really dope other collectives like in hip hop and rock music. It's just like, kind of like a sort of like in a way without the connotation, just sort of like a gang of dudes who just love to, but we're like a positive gang of people who like love to like make people laugh and smile versus scare people away. So yeah, we have a lot of inspiration from hip hop to hardcore. We all went to a bunch of us went to jazz school, so it's pretty eclectic. But we're really proud of what we're doing right now.
I love that. I love that. And recently, you guys have released a single, "Sunshine," which is
Tune.
a banger. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's a
absolutely
good
love
tune,
it. We were
man.
listening to it today, and yeah, it's. I think on Snack Time's Instagram as well, you've got a couple of performances of it or something, or along the lines of
Yeah,
that.
we're starting to push out some content of it. It actually very much that song was inspired by. I remember getting to watch there's a channel called Palladium, and they would always show sorry, the name is slipping me right now. The Giant Festival in London or in England, I guess. Um,
Glastonbury.
huge Glastonbury. I think about like those Glastonbury festival songs with hundreds of thousands of people watching, and that's sort of the goal with that one. And I hope that one day we'll be able to, replicate that for real. So
I mean, you guys have got to be on the bill at some point soon, surely. Like you're growing like wildfire, so
Yeah.
we believe in ourselves. We believe in positive affirmation. We believe in uh, you know betting on yourselves and putting it all together. So I don't see any reason why not.
nice, nice. And when you guys started out, you were doing kind of like um, free shows in Philly. In is it Rittenhouse Square?
Yep.
And obviously, you kind of started growing quite a big audience off the back of that. So how where in comparison to where you are today, how quickly, I guess, has that come up been for you? And do you ever look back and go, shit, I'm here?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I mean, it's really crazy because in some respects it feels like it's been like 100 years, but in some respects I also remember the feeling of us all gathering each other and being like, all right, let's go to the park. And we were in the park 2 3 days a week, and it's like it feels like just yesterday that our first festival booking or our first like, oh man, we're starting to get real gigs. So it's kind of a crazy situation, but um, in a way, it makes me feel better to think we're still a young band
Yeah.
because we've been able to achieve so much. And 5 years in some respects is still very much a young band, and especially one where we didn't go on our first tour until last year. So I really feel like we have a lot to go, and that's kind of an exciting thing for me and for us.
It's
Amazing.
a good time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love seeing that. Like, there's going from, you know, almost a hobby or it's a get together making music and then reaching that peak, you know?
Yeah.
It's good to see. Sam, I don't usually go this deep this early on, but I'm going to ask you a very deep question, okay?
Okay.
If snack time were a sandwich, what would be on it?
That's a good question, man. It's a little emotionally close to me. So if I cry, just forgive me. But I would like to think if snack time was a sandwich, we would be a beautiful long hoagie roll that's handmade every morning by any one of the amazing bread makers in Philadelphia. Um, and this might just be suiting my taste, and I'm sure that everyone else. I hope they would enjoy it too in the band. But I would love to have like a like some sort of beautiful crispy pork, but maybe like a nice little spicy long hot aioli. But then also like you think you're going one way, you get your arugula, you got your greens, you think you're going one way, and then you plop some like I don't know some like passion fruit jelly or some sort of like some sort of lychee thing. And I think that'd be really good. Honestly, I would love to make like a tropical fruit inspired banh mi, but like on that Italian bread with sesame seeds. I really like that, but that also could just be like, maybe you're smoking a joint and you thought a little bit too much about it. So I like we like savory, we like sweet, and if Snacktime was a band, it's to expect the unexpected and to just have fun with it. There's lots of conventional things happening all the time, and we try our best to do what feels right to us and write the music that feels right to us. So something a little bit, unconventional but still familiar and something that you love.
I
That
love
was a
that.
great answer,
That's
and I want that sandwich.
my mouth was watering.
Yeah,
It was
Like that.
yeah. Oh,
yeah. I'm trying to think honestly. I love to cook, and I'm trying to think of in practice how I'd be able to extract that passion fruit thing. 'Cause I don't really see passion fruit jams or anything like that, but like some sort of passion fruit, maybe a passion fruit vinaigrette
ooh.
on the greens would be really nice. So that sounds good. I'll work on it, and I'll send you guys how it turns out.
Good
Yeah,
shout. Good
please
shout.
do.
And
Yeah.
I've seen your Instagram. You're quite the chef yourself. I wouldn't say amateur barbecuer.
No, we've seen
Barbecuist.
some pretty amazing
Yeah, man, you got some
displays
dishes
of
going on.
yeah.
So I'm very lucky within my life to have become friends with lots of amazing chefs, and that's kind of the whole idea behind Snack Time. When Snack Time first started, it was a collaboration between myself putting together a band of maybe lesser known folks who were like the support artist versus like the main artist, and like a chef who may be like not the owner of the restaurant, not the not the head chef, but through that connection, I've been able to just be really tapped into a lot of food people that have taught me so many skills. And I love to cook, and I would never call myself a chef because, um, that would be disrespectful to those dudes who are in there every single day, really, really, really putting their lives out there, and it's tough. And I just actually listened to the Anthony Bourdain book, No Reservations. No, sorry. What's it called? I listened to it on Spotify. Anyways, Bourdain's first book, and it's something that it sort of just kept into me that like cooking and music are very, 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 very similar. There's so much preparation that goes into it. There's so many years of knowledge and schooling you have, not formal schooling, but just schooling by learning that you have to have, and then every single day you have to be on the ball. There's a 0% chance that anyone's coming to your restaurant to be like, oh yeah, I came to have like a subpar experience, or in the same respect, they're not coming to your show to be like, oh, they had an off night. Like, they really expect you to be every single day delivering the same experience that they saw on Instagram, and so, and it's not always, I think, received the most empathetically, if that makes sense. They're kind of just like, well, I spent my money on this, so I want this to be good. So all that's to say is I have a ton of respect for the chefs, as well as I do musicians that are putting in a lot of work to make a product very, very consistent and good all times.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think that's well said.
And I assume that kind of ties into my next question, which is I was going to ask kind of the origin of the band name, Snack Time.
Yeah, so that was it. I mean, like, my friend Jen Zavala, who owns a restaurant called Wanted Tamale, which is like a cool, like, Mexican, but like also Mexican American restaurant, very much inspired by like cool, like California style Mexican food. And she was doing these tamale pop ups during the pandemic, and she had been around for a long time, but we had been friends. And she was like, hey, after we put together this first Snack Time event, and then COVID happened, shut the second one down, there was an opportunity for us to do something again, to play music for people outside while they waited. And so in the moment, we didn't have any generators or anything, so it was very much just like, all right, like let's get like a little brass band together. So we got out there, started playing. We had probably 10, 15 songs learned, and then I think the next day we decided to just go out into the park because we're like, this was awesome. Like no one had really been playing music with each other for a long time, so we went out to the park and started to go out once a week, and maybe 30 people showed up, and then twice a week, and then it just kind of incrementally got more and more popular until we were out there, 2, 3 days a week in different parks in the city, kind of gathering a bit of a crowd. And Snack Time, we always say this, it's the intersection of food, music, or food and drink, music, and community. So it's just, we like to give back. We like to be involved with the community. We like to eat really good food, drink really good stuff, and play really good music. And that's kind of like what it's about. Prior to the band kind of taking a more traditional path, with touring and everything, in the early days, we were throwing these things called dream picnics, which was like completely illegally us selling like wine as a part of your ticket with a whole curated picnic basket, and then we would do these festivals sometimes that we'd book from the top down with like our favorite restaurants. So we love food, we love being a part of it, and we hope that as we continue on, that people will kind of take note of that and want to make that still a part of our brand.
Lovely.
That's sick.
Yeah,
It's fun.
amazing.
That's isn't it?
Proper
Listen,
community.
it's fun. It's a really fun thing for us all to do.
Amazing.
I want wine and picnic with every ticket I get.
Can you imagine? That'd be incredible.
You don't get that over it.
Yeah.
You just get charged far too much for a slightly subpar show these days.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. Like it was really great to work together with like lots of really cool Philadelphia businesses that are also my friends, and come up with a snack time ice cream, and then curate a couple bottles of wine that they could select from, and it was really special, and I under no circumstances want to forget the amazing things that this band was able to do without really knowing what the fuck we were doing, if for lack of a better term.
That's incredible.
Well, it's authentic and real. And
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah, raw, lovely,
Yeah.
amazing. And recently you guys did a stint as the house band for Jason Kelsey's, they call it late night show. Is that right?
That's true.
So how did that come about?
Philadelphia is a big place, but also luckily a very small and connected place. There was at one point a local PR firm hired us to be the band for Jason Kelsey's announcement of his new clothing brand. And it's ironically enough, I've only missed probably 3 or 4 gigs in the 5 years of being a band, but this was one of the ones I missed. And it's a lot of people say that me and Jason look similar, which is not true, but big guy, beard, whatever. So that happened and it went well. And then following that, I actually ran into him at the W Hotel when I was doing some work there, and we kind of like looked at each other like we knew each other. It's like, hey, what's up, big guy? What's up, fella? And then one of my old teachers from UArts, we played a gig, and he was like, his band was opening up for us, and he was like, hey, I was involved with Jason's Christmas project, and he was, trying to find like a really great funky band that has horns. And I'm like, oh, well, he's like, yeah, I gave him your name. So then we had a call and set it up, and it was a really great relationship. We had a super great time getting to know each other, and it was really cool because it was his first time filming a show. It was our first time we've been a house band for smaller things, but this was the first time we really were doing the thing on national TV. So we sort of learned a lot of the process, and we were able to be almost like music producers for the show. I would sit down in the read-throughs and go through the script with them, and I'd be like, this would be cool if we did this here. And it was really cool to have the trust from the team, and it wound up being a really, really awesome thing for us to be a part of.
Amazing.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah,
Love
really, really cool.